Okay, let's get right into it. I want to start with a number that just jumps off the page. $635.
Yeah, that's a number that gets your attention for sure.
And we are talking about the NTI DVI-FO-82-MM, which is, and I had to double check this, a single 82-foot DVI cable.
It is, and that price point immediately tells you this isn't for your home theater.
Right, you're not hooking up your gaming console with this. This is a really specialized piece of engineering, and it's built to solve a very specific problem, basically fighting physics.
It really is. I mean, anyone who's ever tried to run a normal copper DVI cable longer than, what, 16 feet or so?
Oh, it falls apart. The signal just dies.
It does. You get sparkles on the screen, random dropouts, or just, nothing at all.
Attenuation. That's the enemy here. But this NTI cable, it's called an active optical cable, and that's where things get interesting.
Hybrid, right. It's a hybrid, exactly. It's the best of both worlds in one package. The engineers made a really deliberate choice. They put the heavy lifting, the actual video data, so the RGB and clock signals, onto 4 multi-mode optical fibers.
Which makes total sense. You turn the electrical signal into light, shoot it down a glass fiber, and poof, resistance is gone.
Yeah.
That's how you get to 82 feet with 0 signal loss.
And the tech can actually go up to 100 meters, which is over 300 feet. But the really clever part is what they didn't put on the fiber.
Okay, so what's left?
They kept copper wires running right alongside the fiber, and those handled the DDC signals.
That's the display data channel, the handshake. It's how the monitor tells the computer what it is.
That's the one. It carries the ED so, I'm this model, I support these resolutions, and keeping that on copper is just, it's so much simpler.
Because converting that little back and forth signal to light would be super complicated for no real benefit.
Exactly. And it means the cable can be fully plug and play. It just sips the tiny bit of power it needs, just 5 volts right from the DVI port, no external power bricks.
Which is a huge deal for installers.
A lifesaver.
So let's talk about who's installing this. The specs are interesting. They list 1080p, which is standard, but also WUXGA 1920 by 1200.
Yeah, that's 16:10 aspect ratio. You don't see it much in TVs, but for professional work, medical displays, it's still king.
That extra vertical space is critical for reading documents or, I guess, medical scans.
And that leads us to the real reason this thing exists. It's not just about the distance, it's about the environment it's used in. We're talking about signal noise.
RFI and EMI, radio frequency and electromagnetic interference.
Right. Picture an MRI room or an X-ray suite. When one of those machines fires up, it creates this huge electromagnetic field.
And a copper cable running through that room would basically act like a giant antenna.
A perfect antenna. It would pick up all that noise, and suddenly that crystal clear medical scan is covered in static or weird artifacts.
That's not just an annoyance, that's dangerous. An artifact could hide something important or look like something that isn't there.
The stakes are incredibly high. But because this NTI cable is sending the video as beams of light, it is completely 100% immune to all that interference.
You get a perfect pixel-for-pixel image every time. It's the same logic for an airplane's video systems or a TV broadcast station, I'd imagine.
For sure. Reliability is the product you're buying. And that actually ties into another spec here. It's TAA compliant.
The Trade Agreements Act. That's usually for government contracts.
It is. And it's not just a checkbox. It's about supply chain security. For a sensitive government facility or air traffic control, you need to know exactly where your gear came from. It has to be traceable.
And it has to be tough. I mean, it has glass fibers inside, but it has a bend radius of just under 2 inches. So you can pull it through a tight wall conduit.
It's designed to be installed and then completely forgotten. It's that invisible infrastructure that just works.
So, to circle back, that $635 isn't just for a long cable. It's for a guarantee.
It's a guarantee that a perfect digital image will get from point A to point B instantly, across a long distance, in a really hostile environment.
So while you might not be buying this for Netflix, it's probably the reason the flight info display at the airport doesn't glitch, or your doctor gets a clear view of your X-ray.
A professional solution for a professional problem.
Before we wrap, here's a thought. We think of our world as purely digital, but we keep running into the walls of physical reality. We've hit a point where just pushing electrons through a copper wire isn't good enough anymore to get a clean picture across a room. We have to literally transmutate electricity into light and back again just to keep our video signal clean.
It really does show the incredible engineering that goes on behind the scenes just to maintain this illusion of seamless, instant connectivity.
Thanks for diving in with us on this one. We'll catch you on the next one.